Welcome to the NBA show, where today we are going to take a look at the Houston Rockets' decision to forego a center and actually play a spaced out offense. Let's get to it. At the 2020 NBA trade deadline, the Houston Rockets was involved in a 4-team NBA trade where they acquired Robert Covington from the Minnesota Timberwolves. In that trade, they gave up Clint Capella, their starting center, a double-double machine, and one of the league's very best rebounders and shot blockers. Now, conventional wisdom will dictate that in the playoffs and even in the regular season, you are going to need a big man to protect the rim and run towards the rim on the other end of the floor for dunks, alley-oops, layups, what have you. The Rockets, led by Daryl Morey, their general manager, Mike D'Antoni, their head coach, and of course James Harden, their superstar shooting guard, are basically saying, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do something else, which is a very interesting approach to the NBA in the year 2020. Now, the Rockets, instead of relying on a full-time center, are using PJ Tucker, a 6'4" small forward, essentially, who is playing the 3, the 4, and the 5 now, where he is primarily spacing the court and playing positional defense. Robert Covington came into the team, averaging 2.5 blocks since the trade, as well as 7.9 rebounds, and is actually functioning as a de facto center despite being also a traditional 3-4, which is, well, what is it really? That's the big question. Is it functional? Daryl Morey has this philosophy that if a team has more than a 5% chance to actually win the NBA championship, that's when you cash in your chips and you go all in. For the Rockets, though, they did a little bit more than that. They completely changed the fabric of how an NBA offense works. The mere fact that they are using the 6'3" Russell Westbrook, who's a point guard, more as a de facto power forward in the way that he's being used as a downhill player, that is very untraditional. But nevertheless, how will NBA defenses defend this when the playoffs arrive? You've never seen anything like this before. So guarding it? Where's the game plan? There isn't one. As for Harden, this has allowed him to take a step back. Now, that isn't a sign of him regressing, but it is a sign of him actually having to relax a little bit more offensively and carrying just less of a burden, which could extend his stamina and his durability in the playoffs. Now, on the flip side, Harden, who is a fabulous playmaker, is now averaging 7.5 assists. Now, we know he can do this because he once led the league in assists at over 11 per game. But this is leaning into his diverse skill set where he can get to the free throw line, he can shoot from range, and he can basically act as the primary ball handler / playmaker. Harden, in fact, is averaging over 11 free throw attempts and over 12 three-point field goal attempts per game, which has never been done before in the NBA except for Harden himself last year. Now, personally, I think that this is going to force NBA defenses to stretch out even more. And that is a problem for them because who is one of the best drivers in the NBA right now? James Harden. If this opens the court for Harden in a playoff setting where we know he is fully capable of dropping 50 or 60 if he damn well pleases, that becomes a major problem for NBA defenses. The more points you can squeeze out both of three-pointers, free throws, and basically free drives to the rim, especially in playoff context, is at a premium. The Rockets right now are built in such a fashion where they can maximize that. Now, on the other side of the spectrum is the fact that they can go cold from shooting outside. If that happens, that can lose a game for them. We already know about the 27 missed three-point shots in the 2018 playoff series against the Golden State Warriors. Now, that could happen again, and it is asking a lot of your players to basically put the three-point shot in one basket. And that is why they always have this capability of leaning back into Harden and give him the ball and ask everyone else to get the hell out. The Rockets are, without a doubt, the most untraditional team in the NBA this season. We don't yet know how this will work when they reach the playoffs. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be extremely interesting.